Hi, so I wanted to do a follow-up video with my Botox treatment that I've gotten for helping improve my Bell's palsy. So I went on, I think it was February 10th, to get Botox injections to help with my Bell's palsy. So I've had Bell's palsy since December 2023, and I have not fully recovered from it. I have what's called synkinesis. So you can watch a previous video of mine that kind of explains. But um, so Botox, I've had it now for, yeah, like a month. And I believe results, you start seeing results within about like 2 weeks. They told me 2 to 3 weeks. So I definitely have seen results. So, for example, when I smile, it's not quite perfect yet, and this is my first round of Botox, but um, my smile is not as drooped as it used to be, as well as what one thing that I really liked about what I'm doing with Botox is they put injections in even like my neck here, different areas, because when I would smile, I would go like this. So imagine if you're like, I don't know how you like flex your neck, but it gets larger when it's really like strained. So that would happen on my left side. And so when I would smile, this would get like really, I wouldn't say like terribly large, but it was just tight on this side of my face. But with adding the Botox injections here, I really feel like that's helped in terms of like mobility and just not feeling as tight and actually having a relaxed neck when I smile. So, like, this is basically the same. So, something else that's been noticed with my Bell's palsy recovery is having like dimpling. So, I didn't used to have like a kind of like a dimple here. I don't know if you can tell. And then also, just to kind of explain synkinesis again, so what happens is the nerves on like this, they come from like back here, the facial nerves. And there's all these like imagine like little wires going in on the side of your face, and sometimes they can route improperly. So instead of going to the right like parts of your like the muscles in your face, they can start triggering each other. So for example, when I smile, this my eye will start to squint more. Same with if I'm chewing on the left side of my mouth, it'll start to squint more than like this side, like nothing happens to my eye. So that's something with synkinesis, as well as um, I think, okay, so when I close my eyes, so especially I noticed this when I started doing my mascara, and I think I started getting synkinesis last May. So that was like 5 or 6 months after I got Bell's palsy. But um, when I would do like mascara, anytime my eye is kind of like squinting on this side, it starts making me smile on this, the left side of my face. So it's something I want to say it's like a complication that develops with Bell's palsy. Um, Not everyone gets that. And first of all, Bell's palsy is kind of rare, or at least I had never heard of Bell's palsy prior to getting it. It is somewhat common of a condition, or it has happened to, I don't know the percentages, but it is still kind of rare, but also it's not unheard of. um Unfortunately for me, I believe my Bell's palsy was triggered by stress, but it's kind of unclear what causes it. I know personally December 2023 was incredibly stressful. Just I had different things going on with my family and my um, mom at the time, and maybe I'll share that in another video. But I just wanted to give an update on the Botox. So I'm probably talking a lot, but I want to show you. So this is what my face looks like now. So like I said, my doctor did say the first time he wants to see how things go with my how my face responds to Botox, because not everyone's the same. Results vary, and also kind of to get a better idea of what's, I guess, helping. So he told me that like to take pictures and have feedback for him, so that when I go next time, we are able to kind of adjust things. Or if I say, this is what I liked, or maybe is there any more improvement I could get here. and kind of go from there. So my next appointment is in May. So Botox lasts about 3 months. Um, and I've never gotten Botox before. So I did explain that in I think my last video, but I've never gotten Botox before or any kind of treatments for my face, anything like that. So it was, something new for me. But so far, I would say, so the results, like, I'm happy that I can tell that there's some change. So one thing I noticed mostly with my smile, so I have a pretty wide smile, and I actually am like, my family, especially my mother, was known for having just like a big smile. And something I noticed, so if you see, you can't really tell here, there's kind of this gap of like black space because, my teeth end. And on this side, it's not there. So this used to be the way my smile used to look was like more, symmetrical like this, and obviously a little bit lifted where you can see this little corner. But it's gotten better, but it's not 100%. Also, I personally think this side of my face looks more kind of swollen, or um not as like firm as like this side does. And that was not the case prior to getting Bell's palsy. So that is something I noticed that changed. But also, I wanted to bring up, there was something else. Oh, so kind of like a brief how they explained what's going on with synkinesis is like imagining that my facial muscles are doing a tug of war. So say there's muscles here pulling up when you smile. So see, everything like lifts up. But then when you frown, the face, like, your muscles at rest, or like you pull down. So instead of here me knowing, hey, let me smile, my brain sends a signal to smile and pull up, and this relaxes. On this side, they're both kind of like fighting each other, where this one's pulling down these muscles and these ones are pulling up. So it would leave like a slanted smile look. So what Botox is doing, and I got injections specifically like in different points here, as well as actually inside my mouth or my cheek, um, is to relax what's going on down here, which also helped. I also got it at my neck, but help this relax, so then just the muscles trying to pull up have a better like shot at pulling up. So I do think that it's been, a good outcome with this. I don't know what's going to be different come, my next visit in May. And then I imagine I would have another visit in August. So I'm not really sure what's to come as far as like, is synkinesis reversible or just Bell's palsy curable? Um, I think what I read online is like people that get Bell's palsy usually recover within a few weeks to a few months, and they're like 100% fine. But for people that have a longer recovery process, like 6 months, even 12 months, or even, permanent damage, it's the chance of recovery after like a year mark. I'm not really sure what the outlook is on that. I think it's potentially permanent. But, I don't know 100%. And I'm, someone also of faith that just, keep looking on the bright side. The thing that I would say is like bittersweet, or kind of like not, I guess, something that I know that I'm not as happy with is that kind of coming to terms with like, I may never have the face that I had before. And, that's in itself, something like that we think is like, oh, like, you know, physical appearances and everything, of course. But if you're used to seeing your face and your face functioning a certain way, whether it's doing like a kiss face or like slurping from a straw, chewing, like, for that to be impacted and change possibly forever, it is something to, that I've kind of been grieving, that I may not fully recover from this. And that's always been something that just has gotten me down, honestly, and feeling sad about it. And I also think it's what's contributed to just kind of like overall sometimes having like lack of motivation or excitement about things, because I'm sad that I don't have my face back. So I do know, like, I'm, on the other hand, like, I am happy with, you know, my face. Like, obviously it's not as bad as it could be, but so yeah, I am happy that the Botox is helping, and I'm curious how the next treatments will go, or Botox injections will go. But yeah, it's kind of just it's also a little bit bittersweet that, like, this may never get fully better. So anyways, I was meaning to share an update, like, when it was at the 2 or 3 week mark, but I've been really busy, and but I did want to make sure. So now that it's been a month, that's kind of, I would imagine, is like what the most Botox is going to do for this round. So they do put injections in different points. The doctor figures that out. So my doctor is a plastic surgeon, and working in an office. It's a ENT, ear, nose, and throat specialist. I got referred to him from my neurologist, because I was seeing a neurologist for a year while I had Bell's palsy, like my first year of having that. So again, I got this December 2023. It's now March 2025, and yeah, I would say, like, ask around, like, do research on things. I know there's also certain, maybe like vitamins people can take to help, like, circulation and nerves and stuff like that. But I also had been going to acupuncture, which I do think helped with my, I think, like, the tightness in my face, as well as I think it was helping me improve initially. But as far as like regeneration of new nerve, I'm sorry, like muscle fibers or nerves, that's not something that just gets regrown, by, at least to my knowledge, it doesn't just regrow from doing something. It takes time, and really time is the only thing that can, like, help. So, but now that this potentially could be permanent for me, seeing what options I have with, like, Botox, to see if it at least helps kind of balance out my face. And one thing I will say I've kind of learned or noticed is that, obviously, I know that looks aren't everything, of course, like, on a deeper level, like being a good person and all of that, and is important, of course. But I would just say, like, it's also, my focus has been on other things. And part of it also is, like, during this whole process I've had with Bell's palsy, it's I've noticed that I've had, like, of course, a strong support system, but really kind of re-examine what's important to me, and put me in a new path, I would say, or new direction for my life. And the life that I had in 2023 or even prior, look different from, like, what I have now. So not only just externally, and, like, people see how I look, but internally, and what it's done for me mentally and emotionally, or just things that I value, and things that I no longer care about. So I would say, overall, and I think I mentioned this before, like, I feel like Bell's palsy has actually done kind of a positive thing for me, and which is kind of weird to say, but, like, the other stuff that came out of it has been positive. Um, Obviously, it's not, it's an experience that's very hard to get through, and it really can mess with people mentally. People, I even heard that from the doctors, like, people can go through depression because of it, because they don't look the same, and especially initially when they first get it. But for people that have residual effects, or, like, long term permanent damage, it's not an easy thing to go through. So, anyways, I just wanted to share an update. I hope I kind of touched on everything. I'm just kind of going off of what my experience has been. So, like I said, I had never heard of Bell's palsy prior to me getting it, and now, I've just been taking it one day at a time, and hoping for the best. And I have really supportive people that have been keeping me positive as well. That's been very helpful. So I might record another update. I'm not really sure. Obviously, like I said, I'll be going back in May to get another round of Botox injections. But yeah, that's kind of where my journey's been lately. And I appreciate you watching this video. So give it a like, or any little comment and emoji or something, sweet. But you just never know what people are going through. So even on the outside, if they look great or seem like they have things together, there's people that are really struggling mentally or stress wise, stress. And that's where I learned that like stress really does affect people. It can even kill people, but it can cause, like I said, I think this was induced by stress in, the fall winter of 2023. Um, and it can lead to things like this, Bell's palsy, or people getting sick because their immune system is lowered, and all kinds of things. So, just I am grateful for the positive things that have come out of this. And also, I was able to go on leave from my job for a while. And like I said, that might be like another story, but and during that time, I was able to take time for myself. So, anyways, like I said, if you can like this video or comment below, if you're also going through Bell's palsy or have before, or like know someone who has. But anyways, I appreciate you watching this, and I will see you next time. Bye.